thank you for getting on with us tonight, and thank you to all of you who submitted questions prior to the Zoom. We appreciate you. So we're going to make sure we get to those tonight. And basically, we're going to run through all the questions that were already sent in. So if you already sent a question, do not panic. We are going to get to it. If you think of a question or have a question that you forgot to comment or submit, just put it in the chat and we can get to it in the end if we have time. So that is the plan. I'm going to start with the last couple I just got. Okay. So let's start with, what is something you wish you had known about the business before you joined? Sarah or Lynn?
I can go. People are going to quit, and it's okay. It doesn't mean it's something that you did. This business just isn't for everybody, and some people have expectations when they get in that it's going to be some get-rich-quick thing, or maybe they don't have a thick skin, or, they take things like, for example, my mother-in-law straight up told me, oh, I had to unfollow you on Facebook. I couldn't look at those bellies anymore. And now every new product that comes out, she messages me. And I was like, hey, what is that? Can I get a sample of everything? So I wish I would have known in the beginning that when people on your team quit, it's not the end of the world. And usually when you promote to a rank, I'll say 8 out of 10 times, the people who got you to that rank aren't going to get you to the next rank. And it's just people are in this business and they're on your team for a certain season for a certain reason. And so that's what I wish I would have known before I started.
Well, I can go. What I wish I had known before I started this business was that it's okay if people say no. Because I had a tough skin, I think tougher than a lot of people when I came in, because I don't know. I think that I was never a popular kid in school, so I learned to not care what other people thought of me. So I just was used to being like, I'll do my own thing. So when people said stuff when I started, I was just like, whatever. It's not like they had much love for me prior. So I didn't feel like I was losing anything. But it's okay if people say no to you. I don't know why we get so hung up on that. Like, oh, what if they say no? Or worse, what if they don't answer? So what? Neither of those things are going to end your life. Neither of those things should ruin your day. If someone else isn't interested in what you're talking about or doesn't respond, how many times have you been in the middle of doing something you meant to respond to someone and you didn't? Or how many times were you in the middle of something and saw something pop up and you're just like, I just can't right now? We've all done that. So why do we take it personally when it happens to us and someone else is doing it? It's not a big deal. So that's what I wish I knew, just because I know that so many people struggle with that, and I at different times have, I guess, just not necessarily at the beginning. Lynn, do you have anything to add on this one?
Yeah. So I wish, first of all, known to grow my network on Facebook and on Instagram, because I didn't. I thought all the friends that I had on Instagram and Facebook were like, that's it. That's all I need. And a lot of people have that. Somebody even told me today, oh my gosh, I have 100 friends on Facebook. And I was just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? She's trying to promote a business page and no, that's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough to have 100 friends. It's not enough to have 200. It's never enough. You've got to continually grow that audience. You have to always grow that. Instagram, Facebook, whatever market you're working, Snapchat, whatever platform you're working, even in person, think of your social media pages as working in person. Would you approach the same person 15 times? No. If they said, no, I'm not interested, you would not approach them 4 more times. You would go to someone else. That person that you just approached in person, that's your social media page. You have to think of it as every single person that's on your social media is a new person in your face that sees your posts. and maybe they unfollow you. That's why you got to follow 10 more for each person that unfollows you. So if I had known something in the very beginning, it would have been growing my network, because I quickly tapped out my warm market and was like, oh crap, now what? Because I didn't have any customers, I didn't have distributors. I was like, what the heck do I do now? You know, and that was my bread and butter in the beginning. And the other thing, like you said, like, so someone says no, then what? What happens to you? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't hurt you physically. Maybe it hurts you mentally. Maybe it hurts, you know, your feelings, but it does not hurt you physically when someone tells you no. It's really okay. And you have to ask. Marketing and sales is not posting, it's asking. You have to ask people, are you interested? If you don't ask, a lot of people just will go to someone else. So the person that asks is the one that's going to get the sale.
That is so true. And here's the other thing that I want to tag on to what you just said. A lot of people are hauntingly loyal. So it doesn't matter if you, like, I have people who I messaged in 2015 who ignored me, who this year have reached out to me and been like, hey, I've been seeing a lot of this in my timeline, but I remembered you reached out to me first or originally. So even if they ignore you, they can come around, and 3.5 years later, I'm still seeing that. And it's mind-boggling to me, but I love it. And I was going to get to this on a later question, but it makes sense with what I just said. So much of this business, this is actually what I wish I had known at the beginning. Also, round 2. I wish I knew about a planting season, that even if I wasn't seeing things, I felt like I was doing all this work and maybe I wasn't seeing an immediate return, how it's almost like an incubation period. And I was impatient. I am impatient. I'm not a patient person. I'm working on that. But I was like, I've messaged all these people, or I followed all these people, or I have, you know, I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to do, and I just didn't see that immediate return. Same thing with people that I messaged first in 2015. Like, people who I messaged, you know, just those things I was doing consistently, even though I wasn't seeing the immediate payoff, continue to pay off now. Because I kept messaging, because I kept posting. People will say, I've been watching you for 2 years, or I thought about messaging you so many times. And because I was consistent, even though I wasn't hearing that from them at the time, they came to me later. So I wish I had known that even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment, the work you're doing will pay off as long as you're consistent. So let's get to our next question, because I could just keep going. Someone actually asked, how much do I think she was asking for herself. Yeah. How much do we post on social media? So I'll say, like, how much are you supposed to post? How often are you supposed to put a post on social media? Kara is going to chime in on this one, actually. Kara.
Hey guys. So I'm like running around like crazy. That's why my video's off. But, so like when I first started a couple years ago, the idea was to post like once every hour and a half, which sounds really crazy right now, because we used to post 9 to 12 times a day. Like, what is that? It's not like that anymore, because Instagram and Facebook both have algorithms. So for now, at least, if people aren't liking your post, they're not seeing your post first. So I probably post like 2 to 3 times a day on my regular profile, and then on my story sometimes I'll post up to like 10 times a day. If you haven't used the Instagram story feature, you should really use it. And I like to create polls. I'll ask questions. I like to ask a lot of questions, like who is looking to lose 10 to 15 pounds, or who wants a good natural detox to just clean out your system, like things like that are quick and simple and catch people's attention. And then on my regular profile, I literally keep it all very, very personal. I don't really post any like spammy pictures. Like if you go to my Instagram profile right now, it would be really hard to tell that I was a Networks distributor. All of my like juice and secret sauce is in my captions. So 2 to 3 times on my regular profile. And then I post a bunch on my Instagram story.
Perfect. Oh, I didn't even mute myself that time. I was like, how do I mute myself? Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, and it's the same as I do, but I want to hear what Lynn and Sarah do, because I think we all do it just a little differently.
Lynn, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, I'll go after you.
So back in the day, we used to post like crazy. Like 2014 was the year of the insanity, like social media pages. I was posting 3 times an hour. That's 72 times a day. I mean, insane amount of posting. Overkill now. You don't need to. You're going to get blocked on Facebook. Like it's just completely insane now to think about that time. But back then, we didn't even have DMs on Instagram. We used to have to communicate through comments. So having those DMs and everything evolves. So keeping in the group and knowing kind of what the trends are is so important. And I've told a lot of you that I've talked to on the phone recently that like keeping up with the trends and knowing, different companies, they're going to tell you different things because they're not keeping up with the trends. So posting once an hour is even overkill. Posting, 2 times to 3 times a day is probably great, but it's totally acceptable to post all day long on your story. So stories right now is where it's at. Am I right, girls? Like right now, stories is where it's at. Snapchat stories, keeping people captivated. So posting quality content, even if it's not about it works, you want to obviously post about your business, but posting other things that's not about it works is going to be, captivating your audience and making sure that you're not over spamming your audience. Your followers are your audience. So you want to make sure that you're not over spamming and, keeping them kind of, like I said, captivated. You want to make sure that they're kind of clinging to you. What is she going to post next? And I have people tagging me all the time and post about tacos and huskies. Like anything, like they all, and people I don't even know are tagging me and stuff. Oh, and I'm like, who is this tagging me in this post? But they've seen my post about my dogs and tacos. That's so they know what my interests are. And that's the key, you guys, is to keep people wanting to follow you.
Lynn's 2 interests, huskies and tacos. But it's true. I mean,
I like big mutts.
Oh my gosh, I can't. But no, it's so true. And for a while, I'm glad I don't know how I got into following this weird biker gang, but I did. And they were like beards and beauties, and they always posted pictures of like either like, I would say fluffy women in very short jean shorts and their bikes. And I was always like, this is so interesting because they were so passionate. And then they got passionate about my posts, but not at works. And I felt like I was being initiated. So you just have to like be conscious of your followers, like Lynn said. I was like, man, I just wish they liked me enough to buy my products, but they apparently just want me to be a Beards and Biker Gang member. So bummer on that one, guys. That one didn't pay off. But Sarah, how often do you post today?
I'll go real quick because I feel like you guys pretty much covered it, and Lynn covered it, and Kara, like you guys covered it. I usually post 2, maybe 1 to 3 times a day, like actual post. And then stories are super huge. Stories are also huge, like with polls, with showing that you're using the product. That's why it's really important to run your auto shipment and have those products on hand to show your followers that you're using them. Also, too, it makes it really good for polls. So I like make a shake every day, and I always am talking about that and putting a poll in there. Who wants more info? I'm ready to order. And I said this on one of the calls the other night. In the beginning, it's going to feel really forced to be posting, to be implementing this new thing into your life. So whatever you guys are doing, like let's say you haven't posted all day and it's 2:00, just stop what you're doing and look around and go, okay, what can I post that I can implement and talk about my business? Am I reading a book? Am I hanging out outside? Can I talk about not being stuck inside an office building? Am I drinking the greens? Like take a picture and post it. And like I said, it's going to feel more forced in the beginning because this isn't something that you guys are used to doing. But just as you gradually start to add it into your life, like the posting, you guys aren't even going to think about it as much. Like we're talking about like, oh, 7 to 10, like we kind of don't even know how many times we post to stories because it just becomes a thing that we do. So that's my short little answer because I feel like you guys covered it.
No, I think that's good. It does become habitual. And Lynn, 1 second. No, I think I already lost it. I did. Lynn, go.
No, I was going to say, when you post a poll, when you put a poll up on Instagram, if you don't know how to do that, I guess let us know in the chat so we can show you how. But when you put a poll up, don't give the option of no. I always say like, heck yeah, I'm ready, or I can order on payday, or I'm interested, or I need more info, or I'm skeptical, or don't ever give the option to say no, because I message every single person that takes the poll. Every single person, I always message them and just like, hey, I saw your vote on my poll, and I send them a screenshot of it so that they know that they voted on that shit. Because they voted on it. Because without fail, they're going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, you voted on it. Like you pushed a button. And I try to make it small and down at the bottom or up at the top so it's not accidental when they're scrolling through. Some people make it massive and put it right in the middle, and that's okay too. It's all what it's all whatever you want to do. If they accidentally hit the button and they're just genuinely not interested, but a lot of people will hit it and then they're not sure, am I on the hook for something? So it's all in that conversation that you have with them after they voted on the poll. But I send it to them so that they know it's familiar. I've seen it. Yes, I did vote on that. No, I'm not. No, I'm not interested, or yes, I am interested. Some don't respond, and that's okay too. The more polls you put up, the more messages you can send. So that's the only thing I wanted to add is don't give them the option to say no.
I always put it right smack dab in the middle. Like, I cannot tell you how many people vote on my polls that don't mean to, but it starts a conversation. And I'm telling you, I know there's plenty of people who accidentally hit my polls. I have only ever had one person be like, I didn't click that. And I had the screenshots in her inbox so fast. I was like, yeah, you did buy. Just like you, I was mad. She was short. I blocked her. But anyways, so many people are so apologetic about it. They're like, oh my God, I hit that by accident. I'm so sorry. And that opens the door for me to say, oh my gosh, it's no big deal. It's okay. If you're ever interested in the future, shoot me a message. Leaves that door open. And tons of them come through later and are like, I know you reached out to me and I wasn't interested, but I saw your post about. So stories are huge, just to echo that again. Let's move on to the next question. Someone asked.
Lynn has to add something.
I'm sorry. I have to add something.
Sorry.
You guys want to start a really great conversation, and I do this a lot. I'm almost embarrassed to tell you. Okay. I send a message to the wrong person. So I will say, hey, Melissa, I saw you voted on my poll. I wanted to give you information about working from home and making that, whatever. Hey, they're going to go look at your poll. They're going to look at your story, and then they say, my name's not Melissa. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just realized I sent that to the wrong person, but I can extend that invitation to you as well.
No, you don't. You're like the people who do the telemarketer call who say, hey, Ralph. And then I say, you don't get those calls?
No.
Hey, Megan. I'm not Megan. Oh, maybe you can help me. You don't get those?
Oh, no. I've never gotten that in my life.
Constantly. But anyways.
That works as well. And they respond because they're mad. And they're like, I'm not Melissa. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just realized I sent that to the wrong person. I'd love to extend that to you as a courtesy. Would you be interested?
How many times does it turn out positively for you?
But totally spins it positively. Totally positive. But it just starts that conversation off on a like, oh crap, I'm so sorry. Like I screwed up. You know what I mean? That way I'm not messaging them. They don't feel like I'm spamming them with a message. You know what I mean? Because it was an accident.
It's all psychology. People are so predictable. But yeah, it makes sense though. It's the same reason the telemarketer calls. People are still doing it 2 years later when clearly I'm not Megan or Ralph. They thought they were getting tricky because it was Ralph, and it would start with the right syllable. So I'd be like, wrong. But,
yeah, no.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, it's a form of marketing, and obviously people do it and have been doing it. So it makes sense. Which is interesting because you sort of answered the next question. What is the effective verbiage? Like what words should we be using in order to get a response in messages? And I think we've kind of already covered this. It's that, well, at least in my opinion, we don't necessarily message only with the hope of getting a response. It's often just messaging them and being the first person to reach out to them about something, and they come back to you later. But my biggest tip on this is always end in a question. People feel obligated to respond if you end in a question. So if you're just like, hey, I'm Rachel. I saw you voted in my pool. That's so awesome. Okay. Like, it's awkward. Like, me just saying that is awkward. But if I say, hey, my name's Rachel. I saw you voted in my pool. Are you interested? Already you're ready to answer, even though I'm not actually asking you that question. It's just how we work as people. So end in a question is my biggest tip on that.
I also said that earlier to one of my girls today, one of my new girls, but I would also say when you're talking, don't use the word join. Don't use the word sign up. Use the words always when you're talking to a customer. Say, hey, did you want me to get your order in, your wraps? You want to make extra income. Don't talk about joining, because I feel like that's like an icky word, and people like automatically are like gun shy, like, oh wait, I don't want to sign up for anything. Like, what do I have to sign up for? Also too, this is kind of like verbiage with conversations. Only answer the questions that are asked. If somebody says, hey, what are the wraps? Only tell them what the wraps are. And then end it like, oh, were you interested in ordering? And then they would say, yeah, but how much is it? Just tell them. It usually sells for retail, it's $99, but today I'm running a loyal customer special, so it would only be $59 for you. And then they would say, oh, what's a loyal customer? And then you tell, so keep the conversation going. Don't just word vomit on them, because if you give them all the information, then they don't even have to, that's it. So that would be my advice with conversations. Keep the conversation going.
And that's the thing, is a conversation is normal. It gets weird when you just throw information at people. If Sarah calls me on the phone and says, hey, how are you? And I summarize my prior week and, the 3 times I had anxiety, how often I used the restroom, and my sleeping schedule. First of all, that's weird. Second, she's going to be like, well, now I guess I'll talk to you next week or never, because I know everything I need to know. So have a conversation. Hey, how are you? Oh, you're interested? Let them tell you they're interested. Let them ask you questions. A lot of my messages end in, what questions do you have for me? Asking them to ask me something. So it's still ending in a question, but causing them, and then so much of this is education. Feeling confident in information not feeling like you're like this. So get on eSuite, read your documents, go on your website, look at products. Get comfortable with them. And the more confident you are in that, the more messages are going to seem natural, because you're talking about something you understand. Lynn or Kara, do you have anything to add on this one?
I do. If you go on your website, you guys have that right under the product. Click on and go to orders at the top, or whatever. If you're in eSuite, go to orders, click on any product, and then scroll down just under the picture. You'll see view product information. You guys, that is massive. Not only are you the description of the product and what it does is going to tell, that's a post in itself, it tells you what the wrap does, how it works. But then you can view product information, and it's going to open 2 to 4 pages of information about that product, ingredients, what it does, what it is, how it works, all of the stuff that you're curious about. So kind of do your own investigating before you get those messages. Go to the most popular products. Go to the products that you feel like you want to advertise about and look at them and actually, check out what it is, what it does, what are the ingredients. And you don't have to memorize ingredients, but just knowing if someone wants to know what the hair, skin, and nails, you can tell them it contains biotin, manganese, selenium, vitamins E, C, E, and that way, those are ingredients that they can recognize, and just jot down some notes. And not that you have to know everything, but if you get a question too, I prefer a screenshot. So screenshot that question, send it to me in a text or a message. That way I can respond for you. And you're going to learn just by seeing my responses. So I'm going to respond to you, not like, hey, Jenny, how's your day? I'm going to respond to you just as if that message came to me. So I'm going to respond to you exactly like, I would if someone sent me that message. So you can change it up and make it whatever, however you talk. If my verbiage isn't yours, change it. But that's what I prefer, is just to change it up so that, you make it sound like yourself. But
I'm unmuted. Can I just say one thing real quick? Just because I know we were talking about prices, so I just do want to add this in just to show you guys real quick. Because I know we're saying, retail loyal customer, real quick. To see the retail pricing of the products, if you guys go to your actual website, hold on, let me turn my brightness down. If you go to your website and click shop at the top and then pick the product, you can actually see here, it says retail, and then the lower price is the loyal customer pricing. So retail is the only order.
Customers, not eSuite.
What?
The website you give customers, not eSuite.
Yeah, so this is, but if you quickly want to know the pricing, I would always just go to my website. So all of the products, it says retail price, and then it doesn't say loyal customer, but the other pricing is right above it. So just wanted to add that.
Yes, and like she said, your website, so the one you would send to customers, and there's a document, I never used it because it's written by mice for mice. The type is this big. There's a document in eSuite that's pricing, and it's a list of every product, and it goes, if you like Excel and you want to blow that up, you can see it in a graph form. The website's prettier, and I learned like that. So then I want to tag on what she said. The good thing about looking on the website you're sending people is knowing if someone says, hey, I'm at this step. If you actually know what that looks like, you can help them. So go to your website and literally pretend you're signing up as a loyal customer. Look at the steps that these people take when they're signing up on your website. So they say, oh, what do I put here? Or did I do this right? And they send you a screenshot. You can be like, yeah, that's right. Just click next. So you know how to direct people on your own website. Next question. We kind of touched on this. I think this tags on good to what we were just talking about. One of the questions was how to say things to get people. I just want to encourage you to not think of it as getting people. That's what changed my business for me. I can honestly say that is when it became less about, I need to get one more customer to get this promotion, or I need one more customer to get this box to 400 or whatever. When it became about who do I know, or who on my timeline can I help because I love the cleanse, it gave me great results. So when you share it like that, this helped me, or look, this helped my friend, look at her before and after pictures, who wants this? And when you change your mindset to who can I help, or I know, who can I offer this opportunity to? Changing that in your own head, that's how you talk to yourself, will change your business, and people can feel it. When you genuinely want to help them, instead of just feeling like you're talking to them to reach your goal, they can tell, and they're more likely to want to order. Because they're like, oh, this person actually cares. They're asking me questions about my goals instead of just trying to sell me something random. They can tell the difference. So for me, that's the biggest thing. And Sarah said it too. Say, I'm placing your order. What do you want? Make sure it's about them. They can feel that. And it's going to make you more successful. So the question was how to get people. But after my shift, it's still a relevant question. How are we keeping, I'll change it. How are we keeping people interested past the first message? And that's in verbiage too, but does anybody have a tip on that? Because I don't want to just that person feel like I wasn't actually answering their question. I think it's the same tip I gave before. Is for me, it's just always end in a question. Keep the conversation going. Sarah?
I think creating a sense of urgency. Hey, I'm getting in a couple more orders before I head to bed tonight. Did you want me to put yours in? for teammates. I mean, some people really only want to enroll 5 distributors a month because they can only focus and train that many people. So if you've enrolled 3 customers or 3 distributors this month, say, hey, I only have 2 more spots left. Did you still want me to save that for you? Or were you still interested in making extra income with me? So just, I think really creating that sense of urgency, because even like when I get an email about a sale at Carter's or somewhere, I'm like, oh, I got to get there because it's ending soon. So creating that sense of urgency with people, I feel like really, it's like a psychological thing. Something inside of you is like, okay, I got to do it, or I have to jump now and do it. So that's my tip.
The other thing is, I think this relates to a previous question too, is telling people what they're saving. Sarah worded it this way, like the retail price is, the loyal customer price is, but like point out that that is a either 40% discount, or you can say the actual dollar amount on the product. So you can be like, wraps retail at $99 for a box of 4, but I can give you to them to you today for $40 cheaper, for $59. If you like, it's like a coupon. People love Lynn loves coupons, but regular people like them. So it just gets, it's psychological. It's how our brains work. It's why advertising works. When you tell people what they're saving, they're like, oh my gosh, and that it's ending. Think about how many times, I don't know if I'm the only victim of Bath and Body Works, but I swear to God, they are ending a sale every single day. And every single time I feel like I need to order. But it's just like, it's true. It's how we work. So does anybody else have any tips on that, or do you want me to move on to the next one?
I think that's awesome. I do, and I hope I didn't interrupt anyone, but I think that's fantastic. I was on a website, I was on Macy's, and I was actually looking at this purse, and they had in red letters, like all caps, and it said 2 remaining. And I was like, oh my God, I don't really need this, but there's only 2 left at this price, And I was just like agonized over the fact that there were only 2 spots left, like two purses at that price. And I was like, oh my God, so like Sarah said, giving people urgency is it, it's the way that you talk to people with confidence and urgency, and you have other people lined up. I'm messaging you as a courtesy. So, I think that's awesome.
Perfect. And I think Kara had something to add on this one. Kara?
Yeah. So first piece of advice, especially for the new people, is it really, like, yes, there's things that you shouldn't say, but if your upline gave you a script to use, just stick to it. Just because you message 10 people, 15 people your first 2 days and you don't get any responses, that doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong, and it doesn't mean you're not going to be good at this business. All it takes is consistency. So there are weeks, sometimes, not weeks, but like maybe like I'm having an off week, and it's usually due to the fact that I'm not messaging as much, but I don't ever change my script. Like the most successful scripts that I've had them for over a year, and I just stick to them. So don't think that if people are not responding to your messages and you're using the scripts that whoever your enroller was gave you, don't think that it's you. It's not. You just have to stick with it and make it up in your mind that you're not going to give up, and you have to keep using that message every single day. You have to reach out to more people. And then the second thing I was going to say is there are some phrases and words that make your message seem more attractive and will help you close more sales. And I learned this from, I think it was Eric Worre, if I'm not mistaken. But if you go on YouTube and you type in magic words, social networking, something, or social marketing magic words, he goes through this list of like phrases, and that has stuck with me for like the last 2 years. And if I can get someone interested, I almost 99% of the time will close on them. If I can just get them in conversation just with using what I've learned from him, I will definitely like make that sale, or they will join my team. So Eric Worre, his last name is spelled Worree, or 1E, I think.
Can you find the link to that?
I can try to look for it.
Yeah, if you can find it. And
he's not an it workser, but they're social marketing. Same concept across the board.
Well, and I was going to say, you can't only learn, sorry, double negatives. You can learn from other people besides just It Works leaders. Like in marketing, even bloggers, the way they post, the quality of their pictures, like just YouTube is a plethora of knowledge and not just It Works training. I mean, I'm telling you, any of these apps that we've told you to download, if you're like, I don't know how to use this, YouTube, how to use Captivate. I promise you there are 30 videos of people explaining how to use it or how to use Cleaner. I don't know why people make these YouTube videos, but it's awesome that they do. So you just search YouTube. I'm telling you, when Kara said on a Zoom earlier this last week that she learned and changed her business because every morning when she got up to get ready for work, she watched a YouTube video. And she just told you, I'm sure that was one of them. It wasn't an It Works video. So, and that's personal development. It's not just reading. Look and see what you can find that can help you, because there's tons of stuff. Videos. Someone asked, do you use Facebook or Instagram more for a business? And I think that's a good question, because the answer may be different for each of us. I use Instagram, always have. There was a period of time where I literally did not use Facebook for business. And I'm not suggesting you do that. It's better that you use both. But for me, I've always had more success on Instagram. And I think that's just because I was in the wave. Like, Instagram came out when I was in college. So everybody I knew, like, that was what they were on. And I just grew from that. So what about everybody else? What do you use and why, I guess?
Do you want to go, Lynn?
I don't care.
I mean, it's a short answer, Instagram. That's what I use more personally. Like Lynn said, when we started, I was posting every hour. I don't think I posted. Maybe I did. I posted a lot. But definitely Instagram, me personally. I feel personally, for me, it's easier to grow my network there. So Instagram's my answer.
I use both. Instagram more so. Facebook was my warm market. So Facebook had the people that I was kind of, my chicken list, the people that I was afraid to talk to, or the people that I knew personally and I felt they were judging me when I spoke to them about products, pricing, that kind of stuff. So talking to strangers on Instagram, people I had never spoken to before, didn't know from Adam, those were the people that was easier to talk to for me. But it's all based on what your comfort level is. And a lot of people now, I read an article yesterday that a lot of the younger people do not have Facebook, that they're only using Instagram. So that's, again, like I mentioned it before, it's just keeping up with the trends.
Yes. And so I'm sorry, we got some feedback there. Some young people, it's changing, don't even have Instagram, are only using Snapchat. So as it's going to shift. I mean, as new technology develops, things change, and you as a business owner, but as a person, like, you got to be ready to roll with the punches. And I didn't understand. I mean, I just never got on the Snapchat train. Still, I'm not really on it. I honestly forget it's on my phone, but I know people who are signing customers and distributors daily from Snapchat. So perhaps I'm failing myself by forgetting Snapchat's on my phone, but you just have to be ready to grow as technology grows. And we have an amazing company that has grown with us and is changing our website to look, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I don't think anybody else here was on Green Carpet last weekend. When they put up what the new website is going to look at, there were audible gasps. Like, it is beautiful. It looks like a Pinterest board met a blogger, met fancy wraps. It was just great. And when you're going to be able to send people to that, it's just going to be awesome. They're growing with us as the technology grows. Does anybody else have anything to add on that one? No. Okay. So, okay. We had a question in the chat. That was all the questions that were asked of us. Oh, there's one more. What is 400? Because I know we reference the 400 Club or 400 BV a lot. What is that? That's the first question. And it's, and how do you get it? What is 400 and how do you get it? Who wants to take that?
I think you want that one.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Care have it?
Yeah. Well, no, sorry, I'm washing dishes. But I have it. I can reel it back in. Okay. 400. So, you have 400 boxes on all of your charts. If you guys haven't looked at your charts in eSuite, go to Documents and type in. I think it's under. You can type in rank and they'll all come up. But basically, a 400 box or 400 club is the accumulation of your loyal customers' orders and the volume attached to their order. So the volume, you'll hear us talk about volume, and that's basically our sales. So we don't really say, oh yeah, I just signed a $100 order. We say, oh, I just signed a 100 BV order, which is volume. So if you go on your eSuite and look at the, like Lynn said, if you go to orders, and look at the products, you'll see the BV attached to it, which is the volume. And it's roughly close to the price of the product. So a 400 GV box is basically a qualified leg. And it really just depends on your loyal customers, guys. Like you could have 4 loyal customers with 100 BV orders and, that would give you 400 in volume, or it might take you 8 to 10 customers. So it really just depends on the loyal customers' orders, but that's what we get paid off of is our volume. We don't get paid off of a distributor unless they're signing loyal customers. So I don't know if I should really go into how it compresses. I think that's like for another time. But essentially 400 is volume and products and what it adds up to.
Yes. I'm going to share the Ruby. Thanks, Kara. I was sharing the Ruby screen the Ruby chart while you were talking, but I'm going to share it again real quick. I don't know how to unmute myself and I can't see the controls. So like Kara was saying, 400 they're in your chart. I just want to clarify something because I've gotten this question a lot. If you are looking at a chart, so this is a Ruby chart. This is what you want to this is what a chart looks like to earn that $1,000 bonus. Each of these boxes is a teammate. I've had some confusion with people thinking boxes are loyal customers. These numbers underneath, see the 400? That is the volumes of your loyal customers' orders added up. And Kara said it depends on your loyal customers. I mean, I have had my biggest order ever, a one-person ordering as a loyal customer was 269 BV. So if you had a 269 BV, you would need like 2 other customers, but you could also have so many wrap orders, so many cleanse orders. It just depends how big your loyal customers' orders are to how quickly those boxes, or you personally, if you don't have a team yet, can reach that 400 being a qualified leg.
I just want to add in, if anybody was confused by any of that, don't be overwhelmed. Just ask your upline. They can go over it. And also, too, right now, don't worry. Just get your 4 loyal customers, get the product credit, get Fast Start qualified, start building to Ruby, but don't only focus on the task at hand that you're working on right now. And that's getting your product credit and getting qualified for the bonuses and getting the $1,000 Ruby bonus, just all of that, focus on that.
Yeah. I mean, some people are greener and they want to see that. Mm-hmm. So, but who I was when I joined, if someone had pulled that up, I would have panicked. So I understand that. Now it's makes me comfortable because I understand it. But don't panic, like Sarah said. And if you are overwhelmed by that, there's again, YouTube. There's tons of videos on charting. I promise you that. It works charting. You can watch for hours if you're super green and you want to understand it, or you can read about it on your eSuite if you're green and you just want to read about it. But we are here to help you too if you saw that and were like, whoa, what just happened?
I would just like to say green too. That means there are different color personalities. Because you keep saying green, and I'm like, people aren't going to understand that. There's different color personalities. So real quick, people who are green are super analytical. They love information. They probably already read the compensation plan, the policies and procedures. People who are blue are super big partiers, and they love throwing wrap parties, and they're the life of the party. Yellow, we say is really sensitive and anything else for you? I know I'm not all that yellow. And red is like competitive, give me a goal, I'm going to hit it, like very driven, very like, so when we say green, that's what we keep talking about. I don't want you guys to feel more lost.
No, that's good. And that was actually something I wanted to mention, so I'm glad you pulled that back in. This is one version of the color test. There's plenty, and they're all basically the same. If you had no idea, I had no idea what the colors were before I joined this company. But knowing what color you are and what color the people you're communicating with are, because I'm a red predominantly, I would say. I think anybody who knows me would agree with that. But if I'm talking to someone who is not, and I'm just like, fast, this, yay, woo, woo, yes, da 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 da. People who are more like mellow they're like, what is happening? And why are you like this? And I feel like people who are also red may feel that about me occasionally too, but less. So just make sure that you take that. It takes 3 seconds and it'll help you better understand yourself. And if you start enrolling teammates and that's just like a thing you do, you're like, hey, take this color test. It's super fun. You know what color you are. Then you'll know how to better help them and communicate with them, which is always good. Lynn, do you have anything to add on that one, or you want me to move on? Or Kara? I can see you both.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, the color test is great, especially when you're interacting with other people, knowing what their personality is. Even customers, you can tell right off the bat when they start talking, what are the ingredients? What's in it for me? Like they're green, they want to know the details. So knowing how to communicate with them is really important. So yeah, definitely take that color test.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like those quizzes we used to take on Facebook. I guess I still have them, or MySpace. Holy crap, MySpace! I'm dating myself. So we have 10 minutes before the corporate call, and if you're new, this is probably your first night. Your first family call. They call it the family call. What you're going to do for that is go to Mark Pentecost Facebook page. He comes on live. That's our CEO, if you don't know who that is. And I can assure you that you want to be on tonight's family call. I'm getting strong vibes that there's going to be some type of sale regarding products. And for all of you, or promo, for all of you who are trying to get those loyal customers, everybody loves a sale. So I just wanted to say that now. So at 10, make sure you go on Facebook and go to Mark Pentecost Facebook. You don't have to be his friend to watch the video. But we have some things we just wanted to touch on because we remember what it was like to be new. So I just want to, I'll just basically read these aloud. And if you have something you want to add, Lynn, Sarah, Kara, please do, but we'll keep it quick because we have 10 minutes left. So one major concern, something we either felt or heard, is nobody likes my posts about It Works. So if nobody likes your posts, I'll say that's okay. Nobody liked mine at the beginning either. It's okay. But does anybody else have anything to add right now? If somebody's like, nobody's liking my post, what am I doing wrong? Or
I do.
No, me too. Nobody liked my posts at all. And I was still getting those inbox messages. And I think back in the day, I don't even know if it does it now. It'll tell you so-and-so liked so-and-so's post. So it would tell on you. So if you liked someone's post, it would rat you out. So nobody liked my It Works post, but they would still message me. And just keep in mind that just because they're not liking or comment, that does not mean they're not watching.
Just making sure. I'm sorry, I thought I was muted. This could be the first time that people are ever even hearing about It Works. So it's going to take some time, and that's why consistency is so, so important. So they're going to need to see it. And even if, you're posting a before and after, maybe it's going to take them seeing one that looks like them. Like, oh, my stomach looks like that too. Or, oh, I had the same, crazy toddler today and I need that confianza too. So it's going to take time for them to actually get used to, hold on, sorry. Good night. It's going to take time for them to get used to seeing your posts because, he threw me off. I got all confused, guys. I was on a roll. That's all I'm saying. So it's going to take time, and that's why consistency is so important because they could have never even heard of it before. So
And I want to say
I
on
was
the
all
flip
thrown
side,
off. I felt like I was on a roll and now I'm all.
no, that's good. I think I can finish your
Oh,
rule.
me.
I
Okay.
can do the opposite. Is some people have heard of it or think they know, but they haven't. So they need to watch you and make sure this isn't just a fad. People honestly are just like, oh, here's a girl doing this. I bet she'll quit in 2 weeks. Prove them wrong.
I
Like,
remember what else I was going to say.
go ahead.
Just because they're not liking it doesn't mean they don't like it. Some people, like Lynn said, don't want to be ratted out. Some people also think like, oh, as soon as I like it, she is going to message me, because maybe they have been messaged, and maybe one of these days they're going to be following you for a while and they want to see, and they are going to follow you and they're going to continue watching your story because they're curious about your story and they like you and they trust you. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah.
I'm going to add something really quick too, just to like give a different perspective. Like if they're not liking your posts, obviously my It Works posts don't get as much love as like my non It Works posts, but also if you're posting like spammy, just generic pictures, like join my team now, or try this cleanse now, or just like really, really basic pictures, yeah, you're not going to get a lot of love. So my advice to you, which is what I do, and it's what pretty much everyone does, is you need to post a very personal picture, whether it's a selfie, a picture of your kids, your dog, your significant other. And then like Sarah said, like whatever you're doing at the time, and you can either make it a loyal customer post or a distributor post. Take a picture of whatever, take a picture of the freaking clouds and just be like, oh, I'm enjoying this great sunshiny day if you live in Florida, and I just got a girl started on her 90-day challenge. Like, put the juice in your caption. Don't post spammy pictures, because I don't know whoever asked that question if that's what you're doing, and that could be one reason why. But you got to be very, very personal, and not be a spammer.
Yes, and when your kit comes in, you have four different products in your kit that you can take a picture with. Like when those products come, you have samples of keto coffee, greens, keto energy. Don't you dare eat that without taking a picture of it with your face in it first. Or if you're like Myra in my downline, I don't know if she's here, but she is so good at going live on her Instagram story and showing, and defining gel. So 5, and showing like what she's doing. And Kara did too when keto energy came out, like, oh, I'm gonna try this for the first time. Just like include people in that, because then it's like they're almost trying it but haven't committed to it yet, but they want to see if it works, and they don't have to say they're watching, but they're watching. Just and you're making it personal. You're showing that you're not just posting about these products, you've tasted them, you've consumed them. Like that's important to people. Sarah.
I want to add something really quick because I know we have like 6 minutes. Okay, so you guys are going to be getting a bunch of products in your starter kit. This is so silly and funny, and my baby took a really long nap one day, so I looked like a human. I did my hair, I did my makeup. Guys, literally, I took a bunch of pictures with the products. I put on different shirts. I put my hair up differently. Take these pictures like when you have a good hair day or a good makeup day. So you guys are getting these products. If you do want to use them, take a bunch of pictures first, different locations. Take a picture of just, the keto coffee with like your coffee cup. So, I mean, do that so you guys have like a bunch of pictures that are your own that you can use. That's all.
And you can recycle them. Like I promise you that I like to call them my frontline selfies. I'm talking about, they are stunners. Like if I had a team of myself, I would be like, these selfies are my starting lineup. And I'm telling you, filters are from the Lord. And suddenly that stunning color selfie I posted 3 weeks ago is now a stunning black and white selfie. And the same 343 people liked it. Why? It's the same picture. I don't know, but it's suddenly different. So if you put a filter on a picture, but like every 3 weeks, if you haven't been able to take a new picture with a product, ain't nobody got time to scroll down and see if you posted that picture before. They're going to be like, sweet. So make sure, like Sarah said, I've done that like 18 times. Natural lighting is key, people. I'm telling you, I don't care if Kara, the other day we were at Cheesecake Factory. We had a potted plant behind her that suddenly made her picture look like she was experiencing something tropical. She was standing outside the Cheesecake Factory. But all we had to do was slide one potted plant in one direction and suddenly it's tropical. Like that's an easy, think about your pictures. So you're an artist now, people. Photographer, hype man for yourself. You're all of it. This is what we do. I'm just gonna, this one is just a tip. Do not click share. If you see a post that you like, don't share it. Like, don't, especially in It Works posts. First of all, because if they click the actual post, they're going back to the original person who posted it. So if you did have a potential interested in keto coffee, but you shared Lynn's post about it, they may click that and contact Lynn and not you. So make sure you are posting, and we can copy people, but make sure you're taking it and making it your own. Like, the bones of the caption are really great. Add a few extra emojis. Change the wording to how you talk. Lynn posts some great posts, but I don't really say y'all. So all I have to do is change all those y'alls to you guys, and suddenly it's me. Surprise. So get used to doing that. And Lynn wanted to talk about how interacting is working. And I think this ties into what we said about nobody's liking my posts. You might not be interacting enough. Lynn, do you want to touch on that real quick?
Sure. Yeah. So just think about, you want, when you post that great picture of whatever, whether it be It Works, your kid, your dog, and no one likes it. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, you're not liking other people's posts. Why would they like yours? You know what? You have got to reciprocate that love. So give love and get it back. So the same people that are, you've got to interact with people. You've got to, and when you get in your inbox, you get in their inbox, I'm sorry. When you get in their inbox, it changes the algorithm. So now all of a sudden they're seeing your posts when maybe they weren't before. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to say, buy my product. I have 5 spots. All you have to do is say, hey, what's up? How are you? I haven't talked to you in forever. How are things going? When you get in their inbox on Facebook, it changes the algorithm. So now all of a sudden they're seeing your stuff. But you've got to start liking their stuff. You've got to start liking people. If you're interested in someone being on your team, or if you're interested in someone seeing your product posts, you have to go to their page and reciprocate that love.
And this is a tip I got from Sarah. She was hosting a lot of power hours a couple months ago in the morning. Is an easy way, and I know a lot of people feel this fear at first, like, oh, how do I just message someone and ask, like, tell them about my business or ask a question? Like, don't. Go through stories and respond to people's stories. Be like, oh, that looks fun. Or, where did you get your dress? Oh my gosh, I love your lip color. Start a conversation not about It Works. Be a nice person. People like that because it's rare in the day and age we live in. Sarah?
I just want to end it with one thing. So if anybody who's feeling like, oh my God, nobody's liking my stuff, nobody's buying anything, I've messaged 20 people, I've messaged 100 people, nobody's buying anything. Do you guys think that if somebody opened up a store, immediately they would make all their money back? The amazing thing about this business is most of you started for $20. You're probably already going to make your money back like this anyway. It's going to take time. That is one thing I just want to tell you guys. It's going to take time. If somebody opened up a new store, they're not going to get a million people in right away because it takes time. It takes advertising. It takes getting out there and telling people, hey, I just opened this store. Come check out my products. It's the same thing. Just because you do it from your phone, you still have to advertise. You still have to grow your network. And like, I don't know if Lynn said it or if it was on another call we did another night. I think you said it, Shane. You have to grow your network. It's so, so important. So if you guys, this is the red coming out of me. If you guys aren't messaging every day, if you're not adding followers every day, and if you're not consistently posting every day, you can't say it's not working because you're not working it. That's how you have to work the business, is following, posting, and growing your network. Or wait, I said that, messaging. So that's just what I want to add. It is 10, so the call should be starting.
Perfect. Yes. So guys, again, thank you for being here. We're going to post this recording if you have anybody to share it with right now. If you've not listened to a dang thing I said tonight, it's okay. I forgive you. But right now, go to Mark Pentecost's Facebook page to watch this family call, because I promise you there's something you're going to want to hear that they're going to be talking about. Sale. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.